Hello, Joanne Musa, the Tax Lien Lady here to answer your questions about investing in tax liens and tax deeds. And just in case you need it, I have my whiteboard here in case I need to write something down to answer your question. So when you come on, just say hello and let me know what state you're in or what state you're investing in, because tax lien and tax deed investing is so different in every state. And I will tell you something, I've been in this business, I've been investing in tax liens for over 20 years, and I've been investing in tax deeds for over 15 years. And, you know, I'm still finding out new stuff all the time. And there's always new things that you have to watch out for in different states. Just found out about something in Florida that is kind of new, something to watch out for when you're investing in Florida. And only about 3 years ago, I discovered a tax lien sale in the state of New York that I never knew existed before. So, you know, all these things, you know, things keep changing, and there's new things to find out all the time. So it's really good to stay up on what's going on with tax liens and tax deeds. And although it's not too often that major things change, laws do change all the time. As a matter of fact, in Indiana last year, not in Indiana, I'm sorry, in Illinois last year, they cut in half the return on tax liens. It used to be a 9% penalty. Well, it used to be an 18% penalty every 6 months, and now it's a 9% penalty every 6 months. So, and that happened last fall in Indiana. So I'm not sorry, not Indiana, Illinois. You know, those two states are right next to each other, and I go through Illinois to get to Indiana. So, okay, so we do have a question. Derry asks, hey, Joanne, when buying tax deeds in Alabama through USA Deed, is there still a chance of redemption? Also, if buying deeds from an auction, is it a 3-year redemption? When you buy deeds from a deed sale, there is no redemption, but Alabama has both lien sales and deed sales. And when you buy it in the lien sale, there is a 3-year redemption. When you buy it in a deed sale, there is no redemption. I am not familiar with USA Deed, so I cannot answer that question. Your best way to buy deeds is from the tax sale, from the tax deed sale. I do like secondary deeds and liens. I like secondary liens. I haven't really bought any secondary deeds, but I've bought in secondary liens. When you buy them, you have to do your due diligence. Very important to do your due diligence. And if it's a true deed that was bought in a deed sale, you want to look for two things. You want to find out if you get a warranty deed. Okay, that means that you could get title insurance on the property, or if it's a tax deed. If it's a tax deed, you're going to have to clear the title to the property. But if you're getting the deed, okay, there should not be any redemption. If you're getting a lien, then there is a redemption, and you have to find out how old the lien is so that you know how long you have to wait before you get the deed. Okay. Derry, I hope I've answered your question, and thank you, Nicole, for your support today. I do want to let you guys know that we had a special for Memorial Day. I hope you had a great Memorial weekend. I rested a lot over the weekend and didn't do much. My husband was on call this weekend, so we just stayed home. And so I hope you had a chance to relax with relatives and friends over the long weekend. We had a Memorial Day special yesterday that is still on today. Today only, it ends midnight tonight, where you could get 3 of our workshops of the Tax Lien Investing Blueprint, one of our most popular workshops, along with tracking your liens and protect your profit. Okay, so protect your profit, tracking your liens, and the Tax Lien Investing Blueprint. Now, the Tax Lien Investing Blueprint alone, it has a $597 value. It sells for $597, but you could get all 3 of these workshops for only $498. It's 60% off. It's a total value of all 3 workshops of over $1,200 that you could get for less than $500. So, Nicole, could you put the link in for people to get this? It's at taxlienlady.com/Memorial Day special. Okay. All right, and I appreciate you. I want to thank everybody that has anybody that's serving in the armed services. And if you're watching this and you're serving in the military, thank you for your service to our country. Okay, I have 2 brothers that served. One did not serve. One served in the Army, but not at wartime, and one served in the Marine Corps during Desert Shield. And my dad also served in Japan during the Korean War. Okay. Any other questions today? And if you missed the announcement that I just made about a special that's going on today, now if you're not on my email list and you want to get on my email list so that you find out about these things, if you just go to taxlienlady.com, you'll see on the right side of the web page, you can get a free report. And when you sign up for that free report, it's called Tax Sale Certificate Investing. And if you sign up for that, you'll be on my list and you'll be getting my newsletter. I have a monthly newsletter, and we do send out a lot of notifications of specials that we have. And we had a Memorial Day special that's still on for today, where you can save 60% on 3 of our most popular workshops and get all 3 workshops for less than the price of one. So, and Nicole has put that link in there for you, so you could check it out. And I'm here to answer your questions. If anybody has any more questions, please put them in now, because I will have to end this call before 2:30 Eastern time today. So give me your questions now. I'll be happy to answer them for you. And I even have the whiteboard over here in case you need me to write something down. Yeah, some of these states have complicated procedures as to bidding and redemptions and stuff like that. So sometimes you need to figure out like how much you could bid or how much you could pay based on what that particular state does. All right, it's very different in every state. And that's why anybody that claims to be an expert all over the country is probably not telling you the complete truth. There's only a couple of people I know that are experts all over the country. One is Brad Westover from the National Tax Lien Association, which is a real nonprofit association, the only nonprofit association that is for the industry, the tax lien and tax deed industry, not to be confused with the U.S. Tax Lien Association, which is not an association at all. They're a for-profit business. Okay, I'm talking about the National Tax Lien Association, which serves the industry. And the other expert I know is actually two other experts that I know are Brian and Rachel Seidensticker. They are a brother and sister, and they are owners of Tax Sale Resources, which is Tax Sale Resources is a company that is a data provider for the industry. So those are, I think, the only three people I know in the country that I would consider are experts all over the country. Okay. All right, any questions? I'm here to answer your questions about investing in tax liens or tax deeds. And even if you don't have a question, just say hello, let me know where you're from, what state you're investing in. And maybe I can help you and give you some insider information in that state. And I can tell you if I have insider information in that state or not. Some states I have more information on than others. Some states, quite frankly, are just not worth investing in. And some states might be worth investing in, but might be a little tougher to negotiate. So they might only be worth investing in if you live there. Okay, so say hello, let me know where you're coming in from, where you're investing, and what you would like help with, because I'm here to answer your questions. All right, and I'm only going to be here for about another 15 minutes. So if you have a question for me to answer, please type it in now. Put it in the comments, and I have Nicole here to help me. My assistant, Nicole, gives me a lot of help and support, and I'm very thankful for you, Nicole. So I am going to take a sip of my flavored sparkling water, which is naturally flavored. And say hello, let me know what your question is. I'll be happy to answer it for you. And you know what? If I can't answer it for you, I can point you in the right direction where you could get the answer that you want. Now, here's the thing though. I don't always tell people what they want to hear. I'm known as the most trusted authority on tax liens in the US, and that's because I tell it like it is. I don't always tell you what you want to hear. So if you ask me a question, you're going to get the truth. And if I don't know what that is, I'll tell you where to find it. Okay. I'm just waiting. You know, we've got a couple people watching today, so just let me know who you are in the comments. Say hello. I can see I'm here on StreamYard. This is being streamed onto the business page, our Facebook business page. But we also put these replays on YouTube because not everybody is on Facebook. And on Thursdays, we were doing tax lien investing tips right here on the Facebook page. But we're going to move that into our we have a private group that is open to everybody. It's called Investing for Success. And you can join that group. You just have to answer a couple of questions. We just want to make sure that you're interested in tax liens or tax deeds and that you agree to our terms and you're not going to use it to solicit or spam. So, you know, you just agree to our terms and answer a couple of questions and we'll let you in. We also have a private group that's only for members, but this group, Investing for Success, is open to everybody. And there's actually some training in there free training that you have access to. And by the way, we are also going to have a challenge, a free 4-day challenge coming up in a couple of weeks. We don't have everything ready yet for you to register for it, but we will have that ready next week for you, and we'll put the information in here. Hi, Maria. What is my opinion in investing in tax liens for, did you mean Maryland? It says Rayland, but I think you mean Maryland. Maryland is complicated, and it's different. Every county in Maryland is different. Each county has a different interest rate, right? It's a 6-month redemption period. That's the part that I like. Some counties even actually have 2 different bidding methods in Maryland. Some counties you actually have it's not public bid, it's private bidding that you send in your bids, and usually it's mail-in bids, or sometimes it's online bidding, but it's a private bid situation. And other counties have a premium bid situation. Some of these are online, some of them are live, and they'll bid premium, and they have what's called high bid premium in Maryland. I do have a course on Maryland. Now, the Maryland tax lien sales are going on now. So if you really, one thing I would recommend though is stay out of Baltimore City. But other than that, Maryland is a good place to invest, but you really have to know what you're doing. So as I said, I have a course on Maryland tax lien investing. We did it while the tax sales were going on a couple of years ago. And I had a couple of my friends who are real estate investors who lived in Maryland. They were actually on the police force in Maryland. So they really understand like where are the good areas and what to stay out of. And one of the places they said to stay out of was Baltimore City. But you can have access to that course if you go onto my site. If you just go to taxlienlady.com/Maryland, you could find out all about the course on Maryland. And hi, Kathy. I see you have a question about Florida. And do you need to create an LLC to invest in tax liens? No, you don't. And as a matter of fact, for people who don't live in Florida and they want to invest in Florida, there is one county in Florida that now, if you're an LLC, you have to register your LLC to do business in Florida before you invest. There's one county that does that, okay? In Indiana, all the counties do that. You have your LLC has to register if it wasn't formed in Indiana, you have to register your LLC to do business in Indiana, and then you have to verify that your LLC doesn't owe any taxes in that county. So sometimes it's a little harder to do in your LLC than it is in your own name. And when you're investing in liens, now it's different if you're doing deeds, all right? But when you're investing in liens, you really don't have any liability for the property. You're not owning the property, you're just buying a lien on the property. So you do not need an LLC. Now, I've invested, you can have one if you want. You can invest in your LLC if you want. Now, I've invested in tax liens in my own name, in my husband's name, in a trust, in an LLC, and a limited partnership. So you can invest in all those things, but sometimes it's just easier to do in your own name, especially if you're doing it in another state, not the one that you live in, or not the one that your LLC was formed in. What county would I recommend to buy tax liens in Florida? There's really not a county that I don't recommend in Florida, but here is, I would just recommend that you stay out of some of the cities that have high crime rates, especially the cities that have airports usually have higher crime rates. So I would stay out of those cities, but it doesn't mean that you can't invest in that county. You just have to pick the right areas to invest. Now, this is one of the things that we're going to be talking about in our free 4-day challenge that we'll be doing in a couple of weeks. We're going to talk about protecting your profit. All right. Now, a lot of people that invest in tax liens and tax deeds, their main concern is doing their due diligence, researching properties. How do you pick the best ones to invest in? And so that you don't lose money. All right. Well, that is what this is about, except it's not what you would think. The way to protect your profit is not by researching the properties. You don't start there. All right. That's your, a second or third step. Your first step is picking the right place to invest. So what do you look at? What do I look at? And it's not so much the county, because counties can be a very big area, right? I like to go to out of the way places that are away from major cities. I like to invest in areas, I like rural areas, but I like areas that have good demographics. And when I say good demographics, it is I'm looking at the average price of a home, the average rent, the renters to owners. I like to have more people owning their home than renting in an area. I like to look at the crime rate. I like crime rates that are half the national average, okay, or less than the national average. I don't like crime rates that are at the national average or above the national average. So those are the things I look for. I don't necessarily look for a specific county. Now, when I talked about Maryland, I didn't say to stay out of a specific county, did I? I said stay out of Baltimore City. Now, Baltimore City has their own tax sales. Baltimore County is a good place to invest. It's only the city that I said to stay away from, and that's because of the high crime rate in Baltimore City, but that's not the only reason. Baltimore City also has a lot of red tape. And I know from investors that have invested there and from attorneys in Baltimore City that redemptions take longer, and things sometimes get actually get reversed. Tax sales, they can lose the information. They could sell the wrong property at a tax sale. It's just a lot of bad things happen there. So you're better off if you stay out. Now, if you live there, that's a different story, because you see, if you live there, you know the good and the bad areas. And you know the local people in office there. Okay, you know who to deal with there. You know who to help you get stuff done. All right, so it's different if you live there. But if you don't live there, stay away. Okay. All right, and Kathy, you're welcome. All right, now this is the last call for questions, because I do have to end this call today before 2:30, because I have another call at 2:30 today. So I have to end this Facebook Live before then, but I just want to let you guys know again that we will have a free 4-day Protecting Your Profit Challenge. And that will be in a couple of weeks. It will start the 12th. We don't have registration ready yet, but we will have it by the end of this week. So get ready, get on our list. If you're not on our list, go to our website at taxlienlady.com, sign up for our free report that's on there. And I will see you next week. We will be here next week at 2 p.m. And how do you register for that, Kathy? We don't have the registration yet. I will have it for you next week. And also, if you get on our list, trust me, you'll get lots of emails with the registration information, okay? You could also go onto our website at taxlienlady.com, and we'll have it in the menu there to register for the 4-day challenge. We don't have it ready yet, all right? What we do have ready for you right now today is the Memorial Day special. And Nicole has already put into the comments the link to get that special. It's 3 of our workshops at 60% off. Okay, so you get all 3 of the workshops for less than the price of one. And it's like getting a discount on one and getting the others for free. So it's our tax lien investing blueprint, tracking your liens workshop, and protect your profit workshop. Okay, with over a $1,200 value, and you could get all 3 of them for less than $500. Okay, she put the link in there for you. It's taxlienlady.com/Memorial Day special, and it's only good until midnight tonight. Okay. And Nicole, I think that's all we have. Do we have anything else today? I think we're good. All right, I think we're good. And if anybody just came on now, we're just ending this Facebook Live now. So the replay will be here as soon as we're done, and you can watch the replay. And if you have a question that I didn't get to answer, you could put it here in the comments, or you could join me next Tuesday at 2 p.m. and I will answer your question live. All right, and we're going to move, I do tax lien investing tips here on Thursdays. We are going to move that into the Investing for Success Facebook group. So join the group. It's free to join, and we will see you there. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. And it looks like I just